Friends, I am Dr. Yogesh Shastri, Associate Professor of Botany at MSG College, Malegaon Camp. Friends, today we are going to study the Rixia thallus structure. First of all, we will see the systematic position of the genus Rixia. The systematic position of the genus Rixia is: division is Bryophyta, class Hepatiaceae, order Markensialis, family Rixiaceae, and the genus is Rixia. The genus Rixia comprises about 200 species which are widely distributed all over the world with the exception of a single aquatic species, Rixia fluitans. All the other species are terrestrial. About 31 species of Rixia have been reported from different parts of India. Then we will see the external structure of the thallus. The gametophytic plant body is the dominant phase. The plant body of Rixia is flat, dorsiventrally flattened, which is prostrate, ribbon-like, and more or less fleshy. The branching of thallus is dichotomous. Due to repeated dichotomous branching and also due to occurrence of such dichotomously branched plants together at a place, the plants often take a rosette form. In this diagram, you can see the rosette form of the Rixia thallus. The thallus is usually green in color. Each thallus is provided with a midrib on the dorsal surface. In this diagram, you can see the dorsal surface and ventral surface of the Rixia thallus. There is a depression in the apical portion which forms the apical notch at the tip where the growing point is located. So on dorsal surface you can see the midrib as well as at the apical portion you can see the apical notch. The ventral or lower surface of the thallus bears numerous multicellular scales and unicellular rhizoids. The scales are multicellular and they are violet in color and their position is marginal. They are crowded near the growing apex and are meant for the protection. In Rixia, the roots are absent, rhizoids are present. Rhizoids are of two types, smooth-walled and tuberculate. So you can see in this diagram the smooth-walled rhizoids, tuberculate rhizoids, and the scale. The scale is multicellular, tuberculate and the smooth-walled rhizoid, they are unicellular. The smooth-walled rhizoids are long and unicellular structure. The tuberculate rhizoids, peg-like outgrowths. In tuberculate rhizoids, peg-like outgrowths arise from the inner surface of the walls. Rhizoids attach the thallus to the substratum and absorb water and solutes from the soil. After the external structure of the thallus, we will see the internal structure of the thallus. So this is a diagram of the internal structure of the thallus. A vertical section of the thallus of Rixia shows two distinct regions. These are number one, parenchymatous or storage region. In parenchymatous or storage region, you can see the colorless parenchymatous tissue without intercellular spaces. The cells of the parenchyma tissue generally lack chlorophyll and contain starch. Therefore, the ventral region primarily constitutes the storage tissue. The cells store water and food. The lower portion of the storage region is bounded by a single layered epidermis from which rhizoids of two types, that is smooth-walled and tuberculated, arises in the middle region, and violet colored scales arise at the margin. After the uh, storage region, we will see the chlorenchymatous or the assimilatory, or we can say the photosynthetic region, that is second region. It is upper or dorsal region. It is composed of chloroplast bearing cells arranged in vertical rows. These rows are separated by narrow vertical air chambers. Each chamber communicates to the exterior by means of an air pore. The air chamber is meant for exchange of gases. The terminal cell of each vertical row is colorless, without pyrenoids, and somewhat enlarged, and forms the ill-defined upper epidermis. The function of the assimilatory region is photosynthesis and synthesizes the organic food. Thank you.